Let's talk about the death of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. You have senators who say, bipartisan, I should say, there's no doubt when they look at the intel that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia was behind this. So you have senators working on legislation. They're trying to hold Saudi Arabia accountable. Listen to what Republican Senator Bob Corker says.
But to use that as the reason that we're not going to say anything about this is just, it's un-American. That's not what we do as America. When we provide aid to other countries, we do so because we want to see good things happen in those countries. We espouse American values all around the world, and to say that, well, no, they're going to buy some arms from us, and so, it's okay to kill a journalist sends exactly the wrong message about who we are as a country. And that's why you're seeing bipartisan support for somehow speaking to this.
It's extraordinary, the rhetoric that we're seeing against President Trump, even from senators who have been in his corner before.
Well, that's true. I mean, Bob Corker has not been one who's been shy about criticizing President Trump.
Lindsey Graham. Yeah.
Lindsey Graham as well. But after that briefing that they got this week from Gina Haspel, the CIA director, people came out of that room, you could see visibly having shifted to a posture of, oh, we'll have to see what we hear, to there is no way that the president's reaction to this is justified or is enough. And the Senate, felt that they had to do something more. And that's why we're seeing all the negotiations about potentially having votes on legislation having to do with the war in Yemen, having to do with other ways of curbing Saudi influence. And now the House members are potentially going to be getting the same briefing next week. It's very difficult to imagine a scenario, given the information they now have, that where they don't affirmatively try to put some additional curbs on Saudi Arabia, since they now know that the Trump administration simply is not willing to do that.
And they'll come up against the White House as they do that. We heard Sarah Murray reporting just a short time ago, Joseph, about what we are going to be seeing here tomorrow. A sentencing memo from Michael Cohen, the president's ex-personal lawyer, a brief on how Paul Manafort, the president's former campaign chairman, breached his plea deal with the special counsel. A lot of details we haven't heard before. What do you think all of this will tell us?
Well, lots coming to a head, right, in the same week, and it's not a coincidence. The feedback I got from earlier this week, which was Michael Flynn's sentencing memo, which was heavily redacted, was disappointment, that people felt there was so much redacted, so much information we don't know. I'll take a bit of a contrarian view there. I think we learned a lot from that memo in terms of the various strands of the investigation and the fact that Michael Flynn gave a lot of cooperation. So we should look at tomorrow's filings with a similar eye. Don't expect it's going to lay everything on the table. It can't. Bob Mueller has more work to do, and he can't publicly reveal everything he's doing. But I think if we look carefully, we will get similar clues as to where the investigation's going, who's involved, what value Michael Cohen has provided, what value Paul Manafort was supposed to provide and perhaps didn't, and maybe even a sense of when this will all wrap up.
With some redactions, no doubt, as we saw in the other sentencing memo yesterday of Michael Flynn. So we'll see. Thank you so much, Joseph. Julie, appreciate it.